Hello everyone, red, black greetings. This is Flamengo. Welcome to the Paparazzo Rubro-Negro channel. If you just arrived, please follow, like, and share everywhere. If you're on YouTube, I invite you to subscribe down below, turn on the notification bell, and leave that awesome like on the video. We're here thanks to Pix do Milhão, and remember, you can exchange your Pix do Milhão points for products and experiences. You can still win prizes up to 1,000 reais. With Raspo, you win straight to your account, and there are 3 prizes of 1 million reais each on December 31st. It's coming up, only 4 days left, and you can still win 2 million reais on January 2nd. Hello, Conceição. My mother-in-law is already competing for 1 million, so you need to aim for 2 million. It's cheap, you know? Yeah, the QR code is right here on the screen. People can secure it. Don't come later saying there was some kind of scam if my mother-in-law doesn't win, okay? No, I want a commission, but it's not a scam. It's not luck, okay? You're going to secure yours, Conceição, right? I want a small commission I know I'll get, and it'll go to a Rubro-Negro fan. No, but she's a tricolor fan. She's a tricolor fan, so there's no way, so she won't win. No, she doesn't play. No, because you're a tricolor fan. You're a tricolor fan. I don't want a tricolor fan winning. No, so look, guys, here's the thing. Let's go. I want to let you know that you can also secure your spot at the Recopa Sudamericana in Argentina, Buenos Aires against Lanús and at Maracanã. Secure your Brasileirão spot now. In January, the Brasileirão starts. It's the Brazilian Championship with Haroldo's Caravan, then Recopa, Supercopa, and Carioca Brasileirão, Campeonato Carioca, Haroldo's Caravan. Secure your spot right now by calling, okay? There's WhatsApp, contact them and get your quote right away. Other sponsors are listed in the pinned comment. Remember, I've already won and so have you. Play responsibly. 18 plus only, it's for fun, not investment. Today's game is on Instagram, correct? European Championship, so a championship in this case across the European continent. And we're always bringing you tips on our Instagram. Well, I'm going to start here before talking about the transfer market, Everton, Araujo, midfielders that Flamengo is trying to sign. There's an offer for Matias Viña. Yes, there's an offer for Matias Viña, and they're saying there's an offer from Russia. We're going to talk about all of this, clarify everything for you right now. But I wanted to bring some important information regarding Flamengo's football director, José Boto, right? I think it's important for us to be fair with everything that's been published, everything that's been said. A lot of people are criticizing José Boto, and talking to a source connected to Flamengo's board, they told me that José Boto even considered retiring, right? He even mentioned at the end of the season that he was thinking about retiring. And he was convinced by Flamengo's president, Luiz Eduardo Batista, BAP, to stay on, right? To stay on for 1 more year. And then that interview that José Boto gave in Portugal went viral, where he said he might stay 1 more year at Flamengo and then go back to Europe for some job, some interesting league. It's just that what they told me is this. He said that because he has 1 year left on his Flamengo contract. If he had 2, he would have said he'd stay 2 more years. He plans to complete this year of his contract with Flamengo. Is that right? I talked to sources close to director José Boto, and he has this idea of retiring. Or at best, not worse, at best, enjoy what he achieved, right? In years of soccer, and now enjoy life a little like everyone should, right? So sometimes I see people criticizing the decisions, for example, Jorge Jesus. In 2020, it was the middle of the pandemic and he was feeling very lonely. He took advantage of the situation to go back to Portugal. He accepted Benfica's offer at that time, left Flamengo fans upset, and it was actually a pretty typical, normal move for Jorge Jesus. José Boto agreed to stay. So we're even bringing you this information here that he talked about this 1 year he would stay at Flamengo, already imagining that he would be able to fulfill it. This year that's left, so José Boto, with this information, we're bringing here that he's renewed, right? It's not really a renewal. He has a new contract with Flamengo. He's staying, okay? He has this new 1 year contract with Flamengo with a salary increase, and José Boto will keep running Flamengo's football, God willing. With Filipe Luiz, actually, a lot of people are talking about Luiz. He didn't ask for 5 million. That's not true. 5-3, those are absurd amounts they're saying Filipe Luiz supposedly asked for. He did ask for a high salary, right? Flamengo through Jose Boto and BAP are talking with Jorge Mendes, who's the one managing Filipe Luiz's career. Now, actually, the news I have to share with you, sorry Flamengo fans, Ruberti, is that Jose Boto has brought them closer, okay? What Filipe was asking for and what Flamengo was offering have never been so close. So there's still optimism regarding Filipe Luiz's renewal and also regarding Jose Boto. Yeah, that's it. It was a simple explanation, a normal situation. It's a director talking. He has one more year on his contract and that contract is ending, right? From what they told me, he made it clear that it's because of that 1 year left on his contract. He either returns to Portugal to find a project or retires since he already considered it, so that's clear. We had João Guilherme, narrator and host of Flamengo Television, who had Ruberti. He was talking about Filipe Luiz's situation, right? And he showed some concern, right? About Filipe Luiz's contract renewal, and I think that's normal, okay? It's a normal concern. We know that Filipe Luiz did a great job at Flamengo. I think João is right to be concerned. I'm worried too. I would really like Filipe to stay together with Boto. They're doing a fantastic job, and I hope they can, keep up this great work in 26, 27, and maybe even until 2029, right? It's tough for Filipe to stay until 2029, but I'd love to see him lead Flamengo in the 2029 Club World Cup. And you leave your comment here because I'd love to see what you have to say. Now I'm going to talk a bit about the transfer market. We've been talking a lot about Matias Viña's situation. We even interviewed Matias Viña here in Tampa, Florida, right? When he came here with the Uruguay national team to play against the United States, he talked about wanting more playing time and all that. So obviously the player is happy at Flamengo. He wants to stay at Flamengo. He's interested in staying at Flamengo, but after a serious injury, he hopes for more playing time. In 2026, but that hasn't happened, right? Flamengo, Filipe Luiz, he hasn't had many opportunities. He hasn't even been included in the squad for some important matches. And obviously his agent has to act, the player's agent. The player even wants to stay at Flamengo, but the agent is working and has brought inquiries and even offers to Flamengo. The information that came out early today, we've already checked for you that the only offer that came for Viña was from Argentina, nothing from Russia, okay? Even though the Turkish journalist Ekrem Konur reported that Spartak Moscow has already made 2 offers for Matias. They were in the amounts of 3 million euros and 4 million euros, both of which were reportedly rejected by Flamengo. The source connected to the club says that our exclusive information is not accurate. No offer from Spartak has arrived. The only one that arrived was from a club in Argentina, and this source told us that it was from a club in Argentina. We found out that it's River Plate, okay? River Plate is interested in Matias Viña, but the amounts are not considered attractive by Flamengo's management. The Turkish journalist also reported that Jose Boto set the Uruguayan fullback's release price at 6 million euros, but the Flamengo source says that there isn't a set price and that so far nothing close to that has been offered. So there's no Russian offer being prepared for the coming days. And Flamengo is still counting on the player in their plans, okay? This is important information for us to bring to you. Regarding Matias Viña, the offer from Russia is not true. Look, Flamengo and Fluminense have joined Botafogo and Leicester City from England in the race to sign midfielder Christian Medina. Right, from Estudiantes. According to the Argentine portal 0221 from La Plata, the former Boca player will not stay at the club in 2026 despite his long contract. Right, since Estudiantes can't afford the planned salary increase. And his agent Foster Gillette is looking for a market with greater visibility for the athlete. There's information out there on Botafogo profiles, Fogão, Net, and so on saying that Flamengo and Fluminense have joined Botafogo and Leicester City in the race to sign the midfielder Christian Medina. Yeah, I even told you guys that Flamengo is keeping an eye on midfielders, right? They're keeping an eye on Marcos, Antonio, and so on, but that's because Flamengo knows they'll need a midfielder. So that's what I'm telling you guys. Look, he's a Boca Juniors player. There he is, and he's 23 years old. Fits the profile of players Flamengo is targeting, right? Flamengo is a team that goes after top-level players, national team quality, excellent players like this Boca Juniors player. Let me bring you some information from Transfer Market, okay? He's valued at 9 million euros on Transfer Market, stands 1.76 meters tall, and is 23. Is that so? So Flamengo would be keeping an eye on him, just like Botafogo. He also plays on the right side, doesn't he? He's a defensive midfielder, playmaker, and an interesting player, right? Who interests Leicester, Botafogo, Flamengo, and Fluminense, right? This shows once again that Flamengo is keeping an eye on the market, especially for defensive midfielders. Flamengo is looking for midfielders. As we've been saying about Saul and De La Cruz, Flamengo can't afford to lose another midfielder. Saul will probably have surgery, right? He'll undergo a surgical procedure. He'll be out of Flamengo for 4 months without playing. De La Cruz, who's been having recurring knee problems. Flamengo can't afford to lose another midfielder, guys. Otherwise, Flamengo will have to sign someone. All right, Marcos Antonio, who's at São Paulo and belongs to Lazio, is on the radar. We've already talked about this. Flamengo already knows the player's conditions, but Flamengo can't afford to lose another midfielder. There's just no way. Grêmio is interested in signing Everton Araújo. The deal is to acquire 75% of the player's economic rights for around 7 million euros. We're talking here, look, I'll do it here. The exchange rate now is 7 times 6.53, 45 million euros in reais. Sorry, almost 46 million reais, 7 million euros, almost 46 million reais. That's a lot of money. But Flamengo has to hold on, guys. They can't sell. BAP already said Flamengo doesn't need to sell. Flamengo doesn't need to sell players. Oh, but they could sign a better player. Look. Everton Araújo is starting to play really well, huh? This kid is going to play really well. He's going to be great. He's a very promising midfielder. The amount could get close to 10 million depending on how the negotiations progress and the market evaluation. Okay. So, information there about Everton Araújo being of interest to Grêmio, right? The same Grêmio that's also interested in Everton Cebolinha, which are the two Evertons from Flamengo, right? But Flamengo doesn't have to release them, my friends. Flamengo will need a defensive midfielder, as I've explained. Saul De La Cruz, they need these midfielders. There's Pulgar. There's Jorginho. But hold on, Flamengo needs to have 2 players for each position. Boto has already talked about this, Filipe too, in case he stays, which we believe, at least for now, that Filipe will stay. I'm still optimistic. Even with negotiations, the salary will be higher, possibly even more than Abel Ferreira's. Okay, does he deserve it or not? That's another story. He's gaining valuable experience and will become one of the world's top coaches. He's not there yet, but Filipe won't want that. He also won't want to lose another defensive midfielder. Flamengo will have to sign someone. They have Marcos Antonio in their sights, but they have to sign someone. The season is starting soon, followed by the Brazilian Championship in January, and they'll already have a weakened squad. There's no way around it. Please follow, like, and share on all platforms. On YouTube, subscribe, turn on notifications, and like the video. Thank you so much for your company, Red and Black. Greetings. This is Flamengo. Thanks. See you later. I'm out.